So today I'm going to be showing you how to make an actual working flood in Creative with damage and actually everything that works. First of all, if you're going to want to make this, the devices you're going to need is a damage volume, a sequencer, and a trigger, and also a barrel. First of all, before you do any of your builds and that, you're going to want to do the mechanism, because then it's easier to just add your builds in. So, first of all, to start the mechanism, you're going to want to get a sequencer and a explosive device. First of all, place your sequencer where your build's going to be, and then do like this, and then rotate it if you have to, and just change the size if you have to. So now it's facing that way like I want, and then I can just change the size to what I need for the build I want to put. And once you've did all that, these are the other settings you're going to want to have. So first of all, you're going to want to lower your tempo all the way down to around 5-ish, 3, just put it to 2, 3, 4, 5, because all the way up it just goes way too fast. I'll put mine to 3. And then put zone visible during game to yes. Then put this to up. Damage level, don't put this to damage level. And then you're going to want to put start sequence when receiving from and pick a channel. I'll just pick channel 150. Make sure it's a free channel as well. And then you should have all your settings done for your sequencer. Then you're going to want to go to your barrel. And then just place your barrel down, doesn't really matter where it is. And then when exploded, transmit on channel 150, same with the sequencer. And then you've got the channel, but you need to do all these same settings. But the most important one is time to destination from game start. Put that to 4 or 5 seconds, and then pretty much you're gonna want to make sure audio and that and knockback and damage is all off. And then it should be working, because if you start the game, you should see that this just starts after a few seconds, and then it slowly goes up, and this is it, but it doesn't do any damage. And this is where the next part comes in. This is the essential part for the damage. So you're going to want to build a sort of structure that looks something like this, and then you're going to want to get a damage volume and some triggers. Once you got your damage volume, you're going to want to place 2 just like this, 2 just like this. So first of all, for these barrier settings, you're going to want to have to make sure zone all this is off, and then you're going to want to put all these settings to the right settings, so that just don't change the height. You got to change the width and the depth so that it fills the same box, and it should do even more though, because it's at the edge, and you're going to pretty much want to make it fill your sequencer box. So if you see it's getting to the edge, so I'm going to want to have to do a bit more. And as you can see, I've did it, it's all this, and you're going to want to do that for each of these. So now you should have all these sequencers filling up the area, probably a bit more, but that doesn't really matter because that's out of your map probably. And then it should look like this, but then you got to do the heights. So this one right here, this one will have half height, and this one will have normal. Then up here, same thing, half height and normal height. And then you're going to want to change damage. Put it off elimination and put it to whatever damage. I'll do mine 20. Once you've did the damage, now you're going to want to make sure they're all disabled when the game starts. Then once you've did that, you're going to want to do these channels. So first of all, for this channel, do any free channel for enable, and I'll just do channel 1. And then disable will be the channel for the next one, which is this one, which will have channel 2. So enable when channel 2, which is disable for the other one. I know, if you don't get it, it'll make sense. For these full ones, you don't want to actually have the disabled. It's because if you have these disabled, it'll just disappear, and then the player could just go below. So channel 3 and channel 4. And for the last one, channel 4. But once you've did all those enabled and disabled, we're gonna want to go to the triggers. So get your trigger and make sure you're on grid snap 2 and drag drops off, and then you're going to want to place 1 right here next to these and just half up. When triggered, transmit on, put this to the first channel you add, which is channel 1. You're going to do this for each of these, but this one's channel 1, so So, and these are going to be some of the settings: enabled, off, off. And you're pretty much just going to want to make it so that when triggered it'll transmit on channel 1. And then you're going to want to duplicate this 4 times to represent the 4 sequences, going up just a half thing and going up a channel each time. And then you should be done, because if you start the game, you should see that this begins to rise slowly, but after a while, you'll see, once it goes like to this point, you'll start taking damage, so you'll have to go up a bit. And you'll still take damage in the sequencer. And then, once it goes just a bit higher, you should see you start taking damage up here. And then it'll keep going all the way up. And also, you can repeat this also to like however high you want it to be. So let's say you wanted a 2-story building or something, you could just do the same thing like that. And as you can see, if I go in now, I'll die. But then obviously you're going to want to just hide all that, so I just say put it in a box. Make sure it's used with indestructible materials or something, just so the player can't get into it and cheat. So you just cover all this up. It looks sort of like, if you think about it hard, like a computer. Well, it really is just a computer of your map. So once you've got the case for your machine done, you should have the mechanisms all done and dusted. So then you're pretty much just going to want to get whatever thing you want. Like, let's say I wanted a castle, or this, and I'll just get this. And make sure it's all in the box. And then I've placed it, and you know what? I've got my thing. Looks nice. And yes, I know, this is the top floor, but it failed. But I think this actually looks kind of cool. It looks like a tent. But yeah, so let me start the game and show you that this actually does work. So I've placed spawn onto so the player spawns, and after a few seconds, you know, so they have time to like get up somewhere or something, they'll see this blue thing starts coming up and it looks sort of like water. And once it goes above their head or a bit more, they start taking damage. So they gotta go up, otherwise they'll die. And they just gotta watch out for the water. And you could do things like parkour maps where you have to like jump over things to get up before the water comes, and it'd be pretty cool. Or like things where it's like other players have like impulses and they can knock each other off. But yeah, before I die, please subscribe, because if you subscribe it'll help out a lot. But I think I'm gonna die now, so please subscribe and like, and thank you for watching.